Hello and welcome to the MyClayCo studio. I am Tegan and today I'm going to be introducing you to the Multi-Click Rotary Tool. We quite often get asked what are the best ways to finish our polymer clay pieces, and that prompted us to look into a simple option that could help with our drilling, sanding and buffing. We had used other rotary tools in the past, but we were looking for something that was quick and easy to get out and use, that was simple to change the different heads on, and it was also going to be gentler on our polymer clay pieces. So before I show you the Multi-Click Rotary Tool in action, I'm just going to show you the features and how to get it started. So one of the first things you may notice about it is its size. It is in no way bulky, it's really lightweight, and it means that you can hold it in a way that it gives you more control. This is particularly important when you're working with small pieces like jewelry and accessories, as we do as polymer clay artists. Changing the heads on this is also super easy. All you do is pop your piece in, you just turn this to lock it into place, and then to change it, you just click it back again and pop in the piece that you want. All done. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the adjustable RPM. So what is RPM and why is it important? RPM basically just means revolutions per minute, and it is going to be the speed in which this top bit spins. So for example, if you're working with metal, you're going to want a really high RPM because it is a firm material. If you are working with polymer clay though, it is a softer material, so you quite often want that lower RPM so that you do have a gentler touch on your polymer clay. If you have ever ground away half of your polymer clay piece or sent your polymer clay piece flying, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So to adjust the RPM, we just need to turn it on. And as you can hear, it is very quiet, and you can adjust it down from 0 all the way up to 35 simply by turning this knob up here. And then to turn it off, we just press this button again. So one of the things that I also love about this is that it's rechargeable, and it means that you don't have any cords that constrain you. So you don't have to work where a power point is, which is awesome. You could even take it to markets if you wanted to. A full charge does take about 3 hours, and you will get about 6 to 7 hours work time with it. So it will go for quite a while just on that one charge. If you do want to find out how much battery you've got, all you do is just double click the power button here, and that will tell you how much you've got left. To recharge your Multi-Click Rotary Tool, you simply use the cable that came in the box, and you will then be able to plug that into any kind of USB recharging device or plug. Okay, enough about the features and how it works. Let's put this Multi-Click Rotary Tool to work. So first up, I am going to show you sanding. Now, funnily enough, this used to be one of my most hated jobs of earring making, but it's actually now one of the ones that I find the most satisfying because it's really nice just to watch those extra polymer clay pieces come away and you end up with these beautiful, smooth, clean edges. Now I'm going to be wearing an N95 mask today, as well as these safety goggles, which you can get from your normal hardware store or Bunnings. It's really important that you do wear this safety gear because when you do sand your pieces, it does let off these tiny polymer clay particles, and we don't want to be breathing them in or getting them in our eyes. So we are going to be sanding these pieces that I've got here, and all that you need to do is just pop in the sanding bit that you want to use and then just click it into place and you're ready to go. Now you may have seen that there are some sanding bits that you can get that essentially look like little bits of sandpaper that run around the edge of the bit. I find that these are a bit too abrasive for using with polymer clay, and I prefer to use these felt heads. They do come in a range of different sizes, so whether you're looking at doing just the outside of pieces like this, or if you need to get into tight spots like you have with this piece here, you're going to have no worries. So when I'm sanding polymer clay, I normally set the RPM on this from 15 to 20. That just means that I'm going to get a bit more control and it will be gentler on my polymer clay pieces without digging into them at all. So we have all of our earring pieces now finished and sanded, and as you can see, in no time at all, we have beautiful smooth edges. So I'm now going to show you how I drill holes using the Multi-Click Rotary Tool, and it really is as simple as you just unlock this, pop in the drill bit that you want to use, lock it back into place, and you're ready to go. Now I'm going to be drilling without my Drill-A-Majig hole guide today, so I can give you a really good look at how I drill my pieces. I am going to be drilling these resin dome pieces. Now when drilling holes in polymer clay, I normally set the RPM around 20. I then lightly touch down to create a groove before pushing all the way through. This is particularly helpful when you are drilling resin dome pieces to avoid cracking. Another pro tip I have for you is that it is also really helpful to nestle your pieces against something so they don't slip around. I normally do use the Drill-A-Majig tool, but alternatively you can just press them up against something weighty like a tile. Now, buffing your polymer clay pieces is very much an optional part of the process. You might like to keep that flat surface finish that polymer clay has. If you have used other mediums on the surface of your polymer clay, like mica powder for instance, you will want to steer away from buffing. But if you haven't used any other mediums and you do want to get a bit more of a satin finish or even a bit of a glossy shine on your pieces, you can look at buffing them. So there are a few different types of heads that you can use for buffing your pieces. Today I am going to be using this wool buffing head, and all I'm going to do is just take my piece and glide it along the top. I normally set it at a higher RPM, probably around 30 to 35 when I am buffing. Again, you will want to look at wearing the right safety gear for this. Okay, so I've got this piece all buffed, and as you can see, when we do a side-by-side comparison, you can see that this first one that we have buffed has this really nice satin kind of sheen to it, whereas the one that we haven't buffed does still have that real matte kind of look. And as you can see, when the sun hits the surface, you can really notice the difference of the one that has been buffed and that kind of satin gloss look that we were after. I really love doing this with faux stone pieces. I think the effect that you get is absolutely beautiful. You can actually take it to the next level. So what we can do with these pieces now is we can look at sanding it through a number of grits. So we'll start at 400, then move on to 600, then move on to 800. I normally go up until I get around to 1500, and we'll basically be smoothing back that top surface. And then once we've gotten there, we're going to give it a really nice buff, and we're going to get an almost gloss-like effect on there. I hope you found our intro to the Multi-Click Rotary Tool helpful and that it gives you confidence for creating professionally finished pieces. If you do have any questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. Please just drop them in the comments below. And if you do enjoy our videos, we would love you to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.